Well, spokesperson of the Nigeria Police Force, CSP Olumuyiwa Adejobi, joins me for more on this very unfortunate incident. Good to see you, Olumuyiwa. And, well, the very latest update is that the Inspector General of Police has recommended the suspension of the trigger-happy police officer. Are there more things the public should know about how the police will handle this case?
Let me start by giving out the message from the Office of the Inspector General of Police, commiserating with the family of the deceased, our colleagues, and the good people of Lagos State, our friends generally. It's quite unfortunate that we have these incidents at this particular period towards the end of the year. We are pained as well. We shared out of the pains of the relations of the deceased. The IGP has condemned the act, and he has ordered that thorough necessary action be taken. We don't need to do more on investigation because it's like a prima facie case. The case are so clear enough that the ASP fired, pulled the trigger, and killed the deceased. Bolanle Raheem is just quite unfortunate. Today, the IGP has written to the Police Service Commission recommending that the ASP be suspended. You know, the Service Commission has the right to fire, to suspend, or to dismiss as the case may be. We have received interim reports of the incident from Lagos State Command. That's why we have written to Service Commission to seek suspension of the ASP, so that every other legal action can be taken against the ASP. You don't forget that the serving officer is not, they can't arraign a serving officer, they can't prosecute a serving officer. It's either suspended or it's dismissed before you can charge a serving officer to court, not only the police, any serving security officer.
Let me jump in here, Olumuyiwa. Good thing that the police is speaking and acting on this. You know, there are speculations as to the prompt action of the law on the killer of the lawyer. Well, earlier, if you have been following the report this month, a man, Gafaru Brahima, was also allegedly killed by a police officer from the same police station. But the officer we learned is still in detention and yet to be charged in court. Now that you're here, can we have an update on this? And should Nigerians expect similar speedy action?
I have just been told today that the case, the previous one, the report has been given to the Commissioner of Police, Lagos State CP Alabi, who is another no-nonsense man. And we had a conversation this night that that case involves an inspector. That doesn't need to come to Force Headquarters or Service Commission. That one, the matter can be handled by AIG in charge of Zone 2. It's because of these processes of either dismissing or suspending somebody that can look so cumbersome. But because of the sensitive nature of these cases, we are speeding up actions on these cases so that necessary things could be done. So the case of inspector involved in the first killing will be handled at the zonal level in Lagos. The AIG can handle that. But the ASP, because it involves intervention of Police Service Commission, that's why the matter is coming to headquarters, and we are involved and we are intervening in the matter to make sure that we do the needful so that necessary actions be taken. And don't forget, it's a murder case, it's a capital offense that requires capital punishment. And the procedures are there for us to follow. In as much as nobody is trying to sweep any case under the carpet. It's a case of murder, and of course, it's not a case we can just toy with. It's quite unfortunate, and necessary actions must be taken. So the matter will go to court. And I'm sure that you know that Lagos State government too has shown interest in prosecution of this case. In fact, I was told that the Attorney General will lead the prosecution of the case, which means we don't have much to even do when it comes to prosecution because the government is going to prosecute. We can only join the team and provide the needful, either the report, autopsy, and what have you, to be forwarded for proper prosecution. But we can assure Nigerians that nobody is happy. The IGP is not happy about this. And I'm sure you know that the IGP couldn't have sent this ASP to go and fire a lawyer, a Nigerian. The soul of an average Nigerian is important to us. Don't let us be carried away that because this incident has happened, and we think the whole system is bad. Not all of us in the police are bad.
Olumuyiwa, let me jump in here.
Those,
Apologies, let me jump in here. That said, you know, the sad incident, now that you're coming back to the police, this actually brings to the fore the issue of police checkpoints in Nigeria. Clearly, there are good police officers, but Nigerians are pained that we still have people who will say their guns were cocked just to scare, you know, citizens that they were meant to protect, and ostensibly forgot to put it back on safety, as we've seen in the news. What's the police doing to ensure that its officers and men are professionally, professionally in the way and manner they handle or deal with the public?
Let me say this. I don't believe in accidental discharge. There's nothing like accidental discharge. If you don't cock your gun, you cannot fire. If your gun is not cocked, you can't pull the trigger. And once you have cocked your gun, it means you are ready to fire. So I don't think there's nothing like there's what we call accidental discharge. No. And there are laws for you to use your gun. The laws of the land, they are stipulated when you can use your gun, the conditions within which you can use your gun. We have the first order 237. This one guides us on how to use our firearms. We have the BPUFF from the United Nations as approved in Geneva 1992. Basic principle for use of force and firearms. They have almost similar conditions, similar provisions when you can use your firearms. If you use your firearms outside these provisions, you are on your own. You are going to be held responsible. You are not going to be justified, or you are not going to have the support of the government or the support of the law. So every officer knows this. Every personnel knows this. So if anybody is saying, I didn't know, or it's a work of the devil, it's not admissible, it's not tenable in law. So once you do anything outside these provisions, you are going to be held responsible, you are going to face the music. We're talking of murder. Like I said, murder case is a capital offense, and that requires or attracts capital punishment. So once you have killed somebody, the case will go to court, the judge will give judgment accordingly. In most cases, people have been sentenced to death, either by hanging, by stoning, by firing squad, by whatever the judgment might be. So after the judgment, there are going to be death warrant that be consented to by the governor, and then they execute. So it's a process. And we want people to know that we don't delay this, but we need to follow this process, because if actions are taken and we don't follow this process, this particular suspect, a lawyer will stand for him tomorrow to come and puncture all the processes we've done, to come and puncture our prosecution. And it's vanity over vanity. So let's do the right thing so that we can have justice as we all require, as we all want, as we are yearning for. So all
right, okay. I think it's a fine place for us to a fine place for us to leave it. Olumuyiwa Adejobi, many thanks for speaking with us, and thanks for the clarity on that.
Thank you so much. Take care. Good night.